So Rigdzin Shikpo is going to be with us in a few minutes. So I said to him I would just prepare you all for what we're doing this afternoon, which is basically doing what the Lama suggested we do, which is relax and let the presence of the stupa speak to us. I thought, I think most people here already know meditation to some extent, don't we? I can't see anybody here who's not familiar with meditation. And I suppose even the fact that you've come means you have a certain connection with meditation and contemplation. So, in general, we talk about meditation in the West as if it were some sort of technique for calming the mind, and that can be taught relatively easily. You could get it out of a book even, and of course it always helps to have somebody to guide you through, to become more aware of the moment, more aware of your physical presence in the world, more aware of the here and now, bringing your attention back into the present, noticing when you're thinking and your thoughts have gone wild, just noticing that, noticing them calming down as you sit and let your attention focus, maybe using the breath as something very simple to focus your attention on. So that side of things perhaps is more familiar. Good, yes. So it's a new element in the whole thing to be introduced to the idea that it might be good to contemplate a stupa. How does that relate? And Rigdzin Shikpo is just coming, so when he gets here I shall say to him what I've just been saying, and then let him just say a few things. And then the idea is that we just sit quietly. Hello. Do you like that idea? Do you like the idea of sitting quietly? I'm not sure. And also the idea, maybe to experiment with the idea of walking around the stupa, and maybe Rigdzin Shikpo and myself can just give a few suggestions of how you might do that.
We're in the same place.
I'm going to say a few words. Maybe you could sit here. So I was just talking to them about meditation, the usual idea of meditation, about stilling the mind, becoming aware of the moment, letting go of thoughts and so on, and that it's somewhat of a shift to start thinking of meditation in terms of contemplating a stupa. And that's as far as I've got, and I thought it would be nice to hear a few words from you about your sense of what Lama Shenpen said this morning about having a relaxed mind as you contemplated the stupa.
Oh, right. Okay.
And walked around the stupa. So anything that you would like to add to what he said, really?
Okay. Well, I think you really heard it all from Lama Shenpen and from Lama Shenpen, but I could just add one or two words maybe about relaxation as kind of tremendous important thing in Buddhism. I think kind of religion in the West is very uptight, especially if you're a Protestant. I remember being brought up to think that you had to watch your P's and Q's all the time, and relaxation wasn't really what it was about. Buddhism's quite different. I remember Lama going through a whole series of postures, describing the kind of what you have to do. There's Buddhist yoga as well. It's not actually like Hatha yoga. It's much more. It's called dancing, which gives you a much better feel for it. But still, it's got its rules. And then at the end, he sort of rolled about on the ground and said, that's the best. That's to be really relaxed. Or, I'm not saying, especially in this weather, and especially in England, rolling about in front of the stupa, and in Wales indeed, rolling in front of the stupa or round the stupa may be the best thing to do for your health's sake as much as anything else. But to go with a relaxed mind, I think, is tremendously important. And the trouble with our attitude to Dharma often, we think it's a job of work instead of being able to take it in a relaxed way. We think, well, I've got to, to be fair, I've got to take a sort of tough line somehow. The thing in meditation is quite interesting, and it applies to the stupas. Stupa really is different, as Lama Shenpen was suggesting, it's really just different kind of meditation, really. You're doing it on your feet, and you're thinking of the stupa, rather than perhaps relating to the breath, although you can link all these things together. But really, important thing is that the relaxation aspect must always be present. You must, in any kind of meditation, you must, we have a concept of what meditation is, how we've been instructed by our teachers. You almost have to reach the point where your idea of doing anything has almost disappeared. So it's like you're doing something, but only just. Sometimes some of my students used to be very, well, I won't say that's all disappeared, quite uptight when they meditate. If you've got a really uptight student, when they meditate, they suddenly become a worse person than they were when they were not meditating. In other words, they're full of tics and problems and tensions, and they can't breathe properly. It's all because suddenly relaxing has become a job of work, and they don't really know what to do about that. So you have to say, well, the first thing is you have to develop a sense of humour, and there's only one way of doing that. You say to them, meditate, really meditate hard till you really feel ill. And then go on sitting there and say, I'm stopping, I'm not going to meditate now. And then, all their troubles go away. And why? Because they're not meditating. So meditating's a big problem. Then you say, start to meditate. All their problems come back again. Then you say, tell yourself then to stop meditating again. And keep on doing that. In the end, a sense of humour, or as Trungpa Rinpoche would say, a sense, sorry, I'm not being loud enough here. Or can you hear me anyway?
Yeah, no, you are loud enough.
All right.
It's fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, well, I'll keep it down here then.
No.
You like it louder? I'm sure you can get overload with these things. So, maybe. I don't care, I can gesture with it.
You can gesture with your hands. I'll try not to attach it to your beard.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Have a go with that. See
all right.
Works.
So, people have this problem, and they alternate like that. And Trungpa Rinpoche used to say, we have to develop as he called it, a sense of irony when you meditate, especially if you're that kind of person. A sense of humour, he also used to say. You see, what happens after a while, you keep doing it enough, the person begins to realise it's all a bit ridiculous. That as soon as you think, I'm meditating, I've got a problem, as soon as I'm not meditating, I'm fine. And then you begin to realise just in the middle somewhere, when you're almost deciding that you're not meditating but not quite, it's like the slightest conceivable touch. When you feel, yeah, this is the way, you feel you're cheating. Because you're sitting down, you've got this job of work of meditating, and you feel you're practically not meditating. You feel you're looking around. Maybe if somebody's watching me. You know, maybe they can get inside my head. Ordinary people, you know, not great sitters. Maybe they all know really that I'm not meditating. That's a kind of problem. But, you know, you know, who cares? Just really almost meditate, but not quite. Hi. He's probably got the idea better than we have, you see.
And then he'll forget.
No, he's going to worship at the stupa. So you need just that bit of a touch to meditate. That's all you need to do. And your mind relaxes into that. And you begin to, as the start of meditating actually, really being relaxed. And you could do that going around the stupa. Yeah, and obviously, you know, one extreme is that you are not doing anything whatsoever and just thinking about where the next meal's coming from or what you're going to see on television. Obviously, you know, you aren't really meditating when you're doing that. But making a big deal about it isn't meditating either. So it is that merest touch where almost like well, there's you may have heard the bodhisattvas go through a series of stages called 8 bhumis. They say it's hard work up to the beginning of the 8th bhumi. I mean, relatively hard work. I mean, what we do isn't really work at all. It's just overstraining ourselves. So even the bit that I've called almost doing nothing constitutes hard work for the bodhisattvas to the first up to the 8th bhumi. But it serves as an example.